the hitchhiker I picked up won't leave.
I always do these late night drives from work. Usually, I take a longer route. It's more relaxing after spending 10 hours of my day with my eyes glued to a screen. The route I take is not the same. I like to spice it up. I was driving through this dark forest which surrounds my town in the south, and had my windows down a bit. The road here is broad enough so that the trees don't suffocate you, and it is pretty trafficked. I mean, I was constantly passing cars. Weirdly enough, they were flashing their headlights at me, so I figured some police car was hunting around. I didn't have my license, so I slowed down and looked for another route on my phone. A more isolated street, through the woods. My GPS found it. Asterisk current route, 13 minutes until destination. Asterisk recalculating, current route, 32 minutes until destination. Well, I can take being a few minutes late home. So I turned my car and went on this path through the woods, darker than the main road, with no other cars inside. I don't get creeped out that easily, but it was kind of spooky. I like the adrenaline though. I came across this crossroad. A lonely cabin sat behind it, and no one else around. I slowed down a bit, because I thought I saw a deer or something. Getting closer, I made out this skinny guy. He was in a t-shirt and some dark pants, and looked really tired. Really tired. When he noticed my car, he lifted up his hand and made the hitchhike sign. He got close to my window. He was shivering. Hey. What are you doing up here? I got lost. I'm so sorry. You alone? Yeah, sir. You got a gun? No, sir. Can I come in? Get in. Thank you. Not in the back seat. I don't want you cutting my neck and shit. So he got in the passenger seat. He smelled weird. Not like rot or anything, but he had the smell of old, unwashed clothes or rooms where you never open any windows. He was slender and pale, and had a strange calmness, as if he was sleepwalking or something. Drugs, I thought. Well, at least the type of drugs wasn't the one that got the young one so aggressive. I didn't mind him sleeping in my car. Truth is, I saw myself in that guy. That's why I picked him up. I used to be a loser when I was a teen, and got into some really unsafe groups during high school. Lord knows I may have ended once or twice hitchhiking on a dark road, and I would have killed to have someone nice feel sorry for me and pick me up. So, where you headed? To town. Anywhere. Yes. We drove in silence. I was a bit intrigued by him, but not scared, never scared. My GPS said I had 15 minutes left to home when I decided to drop him off. I stopped the car and told him to get out. But you haven't arrived yet. I'm not gonna bring you home. Don't want you knowing where I live. He looked at my GPS, where my address was written. Shit. It's fine. I'll get off. Thank you for letting me in, sir. You're welcome. Bye. He got off and I watched him get smaller and smaller in my rearview mirror. I got in the driveway and locked the car. I thought I saw something move in the back seat, but I was so tired I didn't care. For the next days, my car had that smell. That weird ass smell. My wife complained about it non-stop. Asterisk Tom, you gotta clean that car. It fucking stinks. I don't know who you had in there. Asterisk anyway, last night I got into my car for my usual late night drive. As I was turning on the engine, a chill ran down my spine. My body was alert all of a sudden, but my mind was confused, as I didn't see anything odd. Why the sense of danger? What was about to happen? I decided to start driving, anyway. My favorite route, through the forest. I like driving through creepy scenery, a simple spectator from the safety of my car. My eyes widened as I hit the brakes, to stop the car from hitting a deer. Right in that moment, as the vehicle stopped, I heard a thud in the back. My head suddenly felt very light. I'm not a courageous man. I don't do well in these situations. The prospect of having someone in my car was so horrifying to me, it almost made me puke. I stared straight ahead, unable to move. From behind me, movement. I sensed it. The stupidest words came out of my mouth. Who's there? Silence. I had the light on inside, and I saw my reflection on the windshield. Behind me, something rose. Something human-shaped, but not quite. What do you want? That was the last thing I remember. Before I blacked out. When I woke up, I was still in my car, and the sun was almost up. I wiped my forehead with my hand, then rubbed my eyes. Had I been crying? My hands were slippery. I looked in my rearview mirror and saw my own face, stained by blood, then looked at my hands, and realization hit me like a truck. I looked into my backseat. There he was. The hitchhiker. What did you do to me? I did nothing. You offered to help. You invited me. As he said that, he got out of the car and walked into the forest, leaving me wondering how my own blood got onto my hands. At first, I doubted it was mine, but then I saw the cut on my forearm. I felt weak, as if I'd been bleeding for a while, but there was no blood pool under my seat. I'm not a superstitious guy, but I think that was a vampire. They're getting smart, I see. Apparently, you don't need to invite them into your house anymore. It's enough if you pick them up. Filthy creatures. They're now hitchhikers. I drove home in silence, and had to explain to my wife where I'd been. Tonight, I'm not driving around anymore. The problem is, something is moving outside, and I can make out a shape against my window, on the first floor. I can't exactly admit what I'm feeling, but the tensed up shoulders, dry mouth, and sweating give it away. It's fear. I just hope he stays the fuck there. He better.